Hey guys, this is the Overleveled podcast, episode 21. And guys, we got a couple of topics. We might end up, leaving a bit early because of, how many topics we have. It might be a short one, who knows. So, but we have everybody for today, which is good. So, yeah, let's get to it. So the first topic, and it seems likely that that God of War will be coming out pretty soon, and I want to quickly screen share with you guys real quick of it. So let me get this up bigger. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, so we have a collector's edition for God of War, retailing at $149.99. You get the statue of Kratos and his son Atreus, with exclusive lithnograph with a 2-inch Hulger Brothers carving, which is like that carving right there, and the cloth mat, which is there. A steel bookcase, which that looks dope, I think. And then that's the statue. And then you get a stonemason's ring, which is interesting. A mirror's head talking keychain. So that's that. 2-inch horse and troll carvings. And defender of the chosen shield, which I think is like in the back there. So yeah, and you got that here, and I think that's pretty cool. And then you got digital content, which you got Death Vows armor set. So this is like the armor set here, and then Exile's Guardian Shield. There's that, and then you got God of War's digital comic, which is being made by Dark Horse Comics, which they have some decent comics. They particularly do some video game comics, kind of tying things in. You see them working on like Mass Effect and all of that. And you got God of War digital art book, which I'm a little bit sad that we don't have an actual physical art book. I would have rather preferred that they would have went physical, like Horizon Zero Dawn did. But they went with digital. So, and it's also being done by Dark Horse Comics, and then they have a dynamic theme, which is interesting. Now, it seems like the Stonemason edition is only being available to, GameStop. I don't see anything, via Amazon. And to me, I wish it was on Amazon. Now I have to actually go to GameStop physically and, reserve that before it gets sold out, because it will get sold out. So if you guys want that, go to your local GameStop, say, I want God of War Stonemason edition, and they're going to tell you how much you have to put down for the game. And usually for me, I don't get those type of versions of games unless I'm really hyped for that game. And this is like one of those games where I'm really hyped for it. So that's why I'm going to, put up the extra money to front and get it, because I'm a big, God of War fan, and I'm a big, guy for this new type of direction, which they're going for. But yeah. So guys, what do you think about the collector's edition for the game? We'll start off with Inspector. Oh, Inspector, we can barely hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
It's low. It's like really low.
We can barely hear him.
I can't even hear him at all.
Well, Inspector, try and come back, or... So, Inspector, exit and come back in. Re-click the link. So, I guess we'll go with Taladia, and what you think about the collector's edition for the game.
I think it's a really good collector's edition, to be fair. To be honest with you, I was hoping a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean. How much was it again?
$149.99.
That seems like a fair price.
Oh, yeah, I think it's 100% fair. Because you got games like Assassin's Creed Origin where they had over a $200 collector's edition, almost $300. And to me, I didn't think it was worth. And then you had like Shadow of War, who almost had what, $1,000 collector's edition. Remember, they had like a bunch of shit for it. So,
oh wow. Well, I just think it's a fair price, to be honest with you, for the collector's edition, and yeah, it sounds cool. The only thing I really wish is to add a little bit more content to it. You know, for the collector's edition, give them extra perk or some other thing.
Yeah. What about you, Marvel DC fan?
I think, for the most part, it was pretty much what I was expecting out of a collector's edition. You know, the statue being him and his son, acting all cool and stuff. And I think what I'm disappointed with most is the addition, like that there's no physical art book to it.
Yeah,
I think that would have. It feels just kind of weird having it digital rather than a physical copy. But besides that, you know, the little carvings and stuff look pretty cool, and that DLC like armor set, like it looks nice and stuff. So, but the thing is, for me, I don't know if I'm gonna personally buy it. Because honestly, I really don't have much space anywhere for it. So, but yeah, it looks cool, and I'm super excited for the game. So
nice. Yeah, I think like I really dig what they have. Besides, you know, what you said, because initially I was saying, oh, you know, I don't know why they did a digital, you know, art, you know, the artwork book.
yeah.
Not physical, doesn't make sense. But other stuff like that, I think it's cool. What you said, the carvings, the statue, and also a cloth map and like that God of War like lithogram or whatever.
Yeah.
More like a poster. I don't know why they just don't call it a poster.
Yeah.
But it was cool, and I like the steelbook case. What about you, Inspector? Hopefully we can hear you. Oh shoot, no. Can't hear you. Jeez. Try and go into your right click on the speaker and go into recording devices, and then right click your you know, your microphone and go into properties, and then go into levels. And then like raise it. Got some technical difficulties, guys. Give us a quick second.
What a great start.
Hey, man.
It happened to.
Hello?
There we go.
There he is.
Was it the levels?
Oh, no. Maybe it was just my microphone.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe the microphone on my headset isn't working.
Oh.
I don't know. That was weird. I just had to change my output device. Yeah. In terms of what I think about the collector's edition, I would say it's a pretty standard collector's edition, all things considered. The only thing that I find weird about that statue is that like extraneous like ice monster thing that's under Kratos, I think be there. It's kind of like really weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if you just take that out, it's a perfectly fine statue. And as you said, like the I like art books, so it's weird that it's only digital and not physical. So yeah. So how much did you say it was?
$149.99, and I think GameStop's the only one selling it, which I don't like. GameStop being exclusive to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I haven't bought a game since Injustice 2, so I haven't bought a game for almost a year. And that was I usually go to GameStop because I have the rewards card, but now since my rewards card expired back in August, I don't see any use going to GameStop anymore.
Yeah. The same. I barely have went to GameStop. I just really primarily buy my games on Steam, and if there's PS4 games, like exclusive games, I buy that via Amazon. Even like the collector's edition, such as like Horizon Zero Dawn, I got that via Amazon because Amazon just has better deals than GameStop. That's what I personally believe. But it seems though that we're getting the collector's edition, we're getting more information of God of War, and it seems like I believe that we're going to finally get a release date soon, like really, really soon. So, do you guys agree with that statement that we're gonna get a release date pretty soon when we're finding out about the collector's edition?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I feel pretty confident that they're gonna have something soon for God of War. Just hoping that it is a release date, because I mean, it's weird that you would put out the collector's edition and not just leave it be afterwards. So I'm pretty sure we might get a release date very soon.
Yeah. It seems like they're gonna try and like follow like what God of War 3 did and give that release date in January, and the game comes out in March. I do think though that they kind of have to start marketing it soon, like really, really soon. Right when they get that release date, they have to market that game very heavily to meet that March 22nd date. But yeah. Other than that, guys, I'm hyped for God of War. I can't wait. I'm kind of glad that Tuesdays and Thursdays I don't have school, so I'll be dedicating those days to God of War. All right, so we do got a information coming out. Take this with a grain of salt. And it seems that Microsoft is reportedly reviving the Fable series with a big budget, character focused action RPG Playground Games, who are the same individuals that make the Forza Horizon games. They're said to be developing the new Fable. Eurogamer reports Microsoft is making a significant investment in Fable through development is still in its early days. The report states Playground's in the process of hiring staff with some 200 people set to work on the game. Playground has already brought on talent from DICE, Rockstar North, and Ninja Theory. And we kind of knew about this type of RPG they were working on, like early on in like 2017 or mid 2017. And then we kind of got more reports saying that the reason why the Fable was revived was due to, Horizon Zero Dawn success. And I don't know if that would be contributed to them reviving Fable. It might be because they saw the sales for Horizon Zero Dawn. But yeah, Fable, to me, like 1 was good, 2 was not as good, and 3 was just meh. And hopefully they can make it really good. I would like to see where they're going to take that type of direction, and it's great to see Microsoft try to bring back a franchise that hasn't seen the light of day since like the 360 generation. And hopefully Microsoft can continue doing so and continue, bringing back franchises such as like Sony did with Crash Bandicoot. Granted, Crash was a longer time before, Fable. But hopefully they can go back in the Xbox generation and do like Perfect Dark Zero, like sequel or something like that. And it would give, it would make the fans more happy. But Talati, what do you think about Microsoft reviving the Fable franchise and having Playground Games, who are the same developers that do Forza Horizon, make the Fable, the new Fable game?
I think that's really good, to be fair. And it's an Xbox exclusive as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be on, Xbox and PC.
Yeah, so as if because it's going to be a Microsoft thing, then I really think it'll be a really good thing. Maybe it's not multiplayer, is it?
I don't remember if I know Fable Legends was the game coming out that was going to be multiplayer focus, and then they shut down the studio and canceled the game for Xbox One. So besides that, like I don't know if they'll tackle the multiplayer aspect.
If they are going to tackle the multiplayer, I think it would be perfect for crossplay though. Like how Gears of War. I know, and before we say it, yeah, Gears sucks at the moment, but that is crossplay, and so is Forza Horizon. So not Forza Horizon, sorry, Forza Motorsport. That was crossplay as well. So if Fable turns out to be multiplayer, I think that'd be good for Microsoft. And even if it's not crossplay, the Xbox One enhancement, I think that it looks so sweet and crispy and stuff like that. That will make it appealing to Fable fans to actually buy this game and say, hey, look, it's in 60 frames per second, and it's got the stuff that we wanted from the last game that we didn't get. So that's what I really think, and I just hope that at the end of the day that that Microsoft do find more exclusive, just not only with Fable, but with other companies as well.
Yeah. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
I think this is, I think for the most part, this is a really good thing. Like, it's pretty much, I think you said, like, Microsoft kind of taking a look at what Sony has been doing with Crash and Parappa the Rapper and Medieval, which is coming out soon. So, and I hope, what I'm excited for, or what I hope that they'll try to do is kind of open up to those old studios like Rare and stuff and try to cash in on the retro revival of franchises. So we can only hope.
Yeah. What about you, Inspector?
I feel it's very interesting that they decide to revive Fable, because I know Fable, I would say, is probably one of the most, I don't want to say controversial exclusives, maybe just because of how Peter Molyneux hypes them up and makes everyone disappointed. Yeah. But yeah, I feel it's interesting. Like, I don't own an Xbox, so it doesn't really affect me that much, but it's interesting that Microsoft is getting on that train of doing like these remakes / like remasters, and it's interesting that they got the people who are doing Forza Horizon doing it. I wouldn't have pegged them to do like a big game like Fable. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
That's same. So we got another new game coming out or being announced, not really being announced, but being leaked. So it seems like Fox Next Games has acquired Cold Iron Studios, and the studio is gearing up for development on a new title set in the Alien cinematic universe. According to Fox Next announcement, the game will be a shooter for PC and unspecified consoles. Cold Iron Studios is led by CEO Craig Zinkvike, CTO Shannon Posneski, and creative director Matt Higheisen. The development team includes industry veterans who've worked on various high-profile titles, including BioShock Infinite, Metroid Prime 3, Neverwinter, and City of Heroes. We are thrilled about the opportunity to explore an amazing, rich universe, Zinkvike said. Our background of building online worlds and taking established franchises to the next level in interactive entertainment is a precise fit with our product roadmap ahead. We can't wait to share more information soon. So, okay. So it was kind of announced. And it seems like it's going to be focused on online gaming because it's saying building online worlds. So it's not going to be like Alien Isolation where it's like a first-person horror game. it seems like they're going into the more online aspect, but it seems like they got good developers. BioShock Infinite, Metroid Prime 3, those are like really good games. But hearing it's online is kind of me having I don't know about this, because we kind of got like a really like shoot 'em up game in the Alien universe, I guess, which was Alien Colonial Marines, and that was probably the worst Alien game ever made. And to this day, those developers, the publishers, still defends the game. And I don't know. I don't know what to think about the game. Just hearing it being an online game, though, doesn't have me hyped. But hearing about those talent does. So it's like I'm a 50-50 on this one. But Marvel DC fan, what do you think about this news?
Yeah, I mean, like, for like this kind of thing, like it's like you said, it's like it's weird for it being online, but the developers are good. So I think I'm kind of in that same 50-50 spot. But if I can say one thing, I don't think we will ever get anything as worse as Colonial Marines ever again. Might be a stretch, but nothing will ever just get to that level of quality. I am guaranteed of that.
Well, hopefully. If it were to get worse than that, dude.
Oh my god.
That would be a new bar set lower.
Yeah.
What do you think, Taladia?
I think it's a really good thing. The developers who are making this game and the multiplayer, if it's a multiplayer thing, then I think it's going to be a huge hit. Especially with the previous game. There was no previous game, was there?
I mean, the other game set in the cinematic universe, I guess, it was Alien Isolation.
Then, yeah, I think in terms of Alien itself, it's going to be a big franchise. It'll be a good thing, but there's also going to be a downside to it. And I think the downside to it is that how many horror game people are going to be interested into this if it's a multiplayer aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't forget, I know that Alien Isolation when the old game, which was just gone, that was a good game. Even though it got mixed reviews and stuff, but my honest opinion though is that even though me as a streamer myself, I have friends who actually play horror games and stuff, and they tell me all the time that, look, what do you think of this horror game? Do you think this should be a multiplayer or not? And I'm like mixed on it. I really am. I mean, story base wise, I think it'd be perfect if it was a single player than a multiplayer. But you never know. We'll have to just wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about you, Inspector?
I feel it's interesting that they want to go the multiplayer route. I feel that only multiplayer games are kind of losing like interest in the video game like overall community, maybe except for like Overwatch and a few like other, or like Fortnite or PUBG, like, but those are like the big ones. Other than that, like they're kind of losing favor. So I find it's really interesting that they want to go to a multiplayer one, because the last multiplayer before Colonial Marines was the Aliens. Well, that's not in the extended universe, but the Aliens versus Predator game, I think back in 2010. Mm-hmm. And they like the mechanics on that were still very like wonky. So let's see what happens. I think it would have been better if it was single player than multiplayer, but I get why they want to not do another single player game. But.
Yeah. All right. So we got another Microsoft news, and this is regarding them creating another version of an Xbox Elite controller. So it's like images have surfaced on Reddit, as well as Chinese site Baidu via The Verge, potentially showing an early version of an update to the fan favorite controller According to an anonymous user, the controller will boost a number of improvements, including built-in rechargeable batteries, a USB-C port, Bluetooth, 3 levels of hair trigger locks, a 3-profile switch, and longer key travel for paddles. The Verge notes that Microsoft filed a patent in December for an adjustable lock design for controllable thumbsticks, which these images appear to contain, potentially lending credibility to the images. And yeah, so it seems like this is legit. Looking through the images and seeing this, it looks very hard to fake this. And what can we say about Microsoft making another version for the Elite controller? Because we know this thing's going to cost a lot of money. Like the original Elite was over $100, and those are for, I guess, the super hardcore enthusiasts that want to like customize their controller to be like the best controller possible for their gaming experience, as being like a pro player. But me, I'm not really interested in it. Like for me, I guess you could still say I'm a hardcore gamer, but not to that extent. Like I'm not gonna shell out another $100-something for a controller, because I'm just gonna play on my regular controller or a controller that has a cool type of color scheme to it or design to it. I'm not gonna go out of my way to get a controller that is for professionals. I can respect people for it. It's a type of consumer base that would love it, but for me, it's not for me. And you can still use an Elite controller via PC, but I'm not going to get one. But what are your thoughts, Taladia,
on
the new Xbox Elite controller that they're making? That it's being leaked via Reddit, and they're posting images of it. It looks pretty authentic.
I'm not too sure, because how many Elite controllers have we had?
There's only one version of the Elite controllers.
There's only one version, right? Now, I don't know what to think, to be perfectly honest. I mean, even though I'm an Xbox gamer, like I use an Xbox One controller, I've never bought an Elite controller myself. So, to be perfectly honest, I don't know if the Elite controller, the next Elite up to what we have now, would actually be a good thing, or is it going to be a bad thing? I'm not too sure, but the only thing I can really say is it depends on the price for it. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, I mean, are they still going to make the old ones? That's the question. That's the real question. Are they still going to produce the old ones?
I don't know. They might phase it out or make it cheaper. Who knows about that?
I mean, if they phase it out, I think fine. But if they don't phase it out and if they keep the old one the same as the new one, the price range, it's going to be a big fail. I think they should just don't phase out, but make the old Elite cheaper, make it easier for people who can't afford the very, very expensive Elite controllers. So then they can get the very first one. They can say, hey, look, at least we got an Elite controller, and they'll make more sales on that. And then the people who want the new one to upgrade their one, they get the option to do that in the shops. That's my honest thought on that.
All right. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about the new Elite controller, being made by Microsoft and it being leaked, through Reddit and images being posted of it?
I mean, hearing what Taladia just talked about there, it makes me kind of think that, it just seems pointless, because they had the first model built for those pro players, and then now, I guess, because reasons, they're just going to shell out another Elite with some minor additions and just, charge people another $100 for it. And I mean, I don't think it's really necessary. Honestly, if they really wanted to, push more Elite controllers, I think they'd still kind of keep the first model around, but make it more accessible. to the public. So that's what I think, to be honest.
Yeah. What about you, Inspector?
I mean, I'm not an Xbox gamer, but like, I'll pretty much have the same opinions as like Moral DC fan and Taladia. So I don't want to like just regurgitate what they said.
Okay, that's fun. We got another gaming news, and this is regarding Quantic Dream under fire over inappropriate studio culture. Quantic Dream has come under fire this weekend after reports from 3 separate French outlets made accusations of inappropriate behavior, overworked staff, and a schoolboy culture that allows for racism, sexism, and homophobia. Quantic Dream has since refuted the allegations. Le Monde, Canard PC, and Mediapart have all published reports on the behavior of the studio behind Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human, as translated by Eurogamer studio head David Cage and executive producer Guillaume de Fondemire are at the center of these allegations, with Cage in particular accused of an autocratic style of working, demanding long hours, and refusing to listen to others, with a former employee stating that he sees the studio as a private or semi-private space in which he could say whatever he wants. It's his place. Some of the accusations leveled at Cage also include his attitude towards female workers, alleging dirty jokes, smutty remarks in the presence of his wife, and inappropriate remarks about female actors in his games. Former employees also referred to alleged homophobic and racist remarks, with Cage reportedly watching back a burglary on CCTV and asking a Tunisian worker if the thief was a relative. Co-founder de Fondemire, meanwhile, has been accused of inappropriate behavior around staff, in particular at staff parties. The French custom upon greeting is to Ericus, and Deforme is accused of making more contact than is considered appropriate during these greetings. There are also reports of a cache of around 600 controversial photoshopped images in existence on Quantic Dream servers, with some dating back to 2013. These apparently show pictures of Quantic Dream's collaborators depicted in a variety of ways, placing them in sexual positions, adding homophobic or sexist slurs, or making them look like Nazis. These images were apparently sent in group emails, including those belonging to Cage and de Fondemire. Cage and de Fondemire, for their part, categorically deny the allegations, claiming that they hadn't seen the worst images before complaints were made. In relation to the allegations of inappropriate behavior, de Fondemire called them absolutely false, stating that none of this happened at any event. Cage has similarly refuted all allegations, calling them ridiculous, absurd, and grotesque, and citing his work history with LGBT activist Ellen Page and civil rights activist Jesse Williams as counter evidence towards any claims of homophobia or racism. Quantic Dream has issued a formal statement on Twitter, once again categorically denying all allegations and stating that inappropriate conduct or practices have no place at Quantic Dream, adding that it is of utmost importance to us that we maintain a safe environment that allows us all to channel our shared passion for making video games. And then that is it. So after this whole Harvey Weinstein situation, it seems like we're getting this snowball effect, and we're getting a bunch of allegations, and that's what they are, really, is allegations. We have no evidence to say who is right in the situation, and we're just getting reports via websites. And we hear, oh, there's 600 what? Let me go back to read that part. 600 controversial photoshopped images. So why haven't we seen those 600 photoshopped images yet? Why haven't then? If these are group emails, if somebody were to be, super offended, they could have just showed those images, right? So this to me says that it's just allegations. If we have these proofs, why aren't these proofs being shown? And it makes sense, him saying he's worked with, David Cage working with, LGBT and, civil rights activists. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense for these allegations. Could it be true? Yes, it could be true. But for me, from my standpoint, we're just getting this snowball effect where we don't know who to really believe, right? We got this with Naughty Dog, right? And that, nothing came out of that. And we got this now with this studio, and I believe we're probably not going to get any of this. And I kind of want to go into this where we're going to get to this point where we're going to hear so many allegations that these, accusers, we're going to start not believing them because people are, I guess, quote unquote, lying. We don't it's going to be I guess, a situation of, the boy who cried wolf. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see these false accusations happen in case of a real accusation occurring, and then we're not going to, trust that. And to me, it's getting to that point now that everyone's being accused of something, and that's going to taint somebody's reputation if it's not true. So I guess we go with Inspector. What do you think about this accusations against Quantic Dreams?
Yeah, as you said, I just feel like this is a part of the snowball effect when it comes to like the whole just sexual, just like all these allegations going around in the entertainment industry as a whole when it comes to like Harvey Weinstein and Naughty Dog and Kevin Spacey and all these people. I don't think anything will come out of it like nothing came out of Naughty Dog. It just feels like a person like. I mean, it's not as big as like the other ones, but like I just feel like there's like just random people coming out saying these things happen and they have no proof, or like I'm not saying they're fabricating it. I'm just saying like there's like really nothing to go off of. Just like there was nothing to go off of with the Naughty Dog like accusations. So I guess we'll just wait and see, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah, it's like what you said with the Naughty Dog. Like it's been so many months since that accusation occurred, right? And there was no proof. Nothing came out of it, and it's like all it is hearsay. And it could be one of the workers being disgruntled, being let go, possibly. But I don't like hearing if it's not true. If these accusations are not true, it's going to be worse and worse for people, actually being that being happened to. And it's going to be that situation of boy who cried wolf. And I don't like for that to happen. Marvel DC fan, what do you think about the accusations?
Well, I mean, it's David Cage, so, I mean, this is nothing really new that I've heard from David Cage and that kind of stuff. And then you mentioned, the whole Quantic Dream thing, and I was thinking about this story that I read somewhere years ago where they were making Beyond Two Souls, and I can't remember if it was a meeting between it was between David Cage and Ellen Page, and oh man, it was David Cage had this scrapbook of pictures of Ellen Page when she was like a little girl or something like that. It was really weird. I can't remember where I read it from, but yeah. So, I mean, and I've heard other stories with David Cage along, time of, allegations and all this kind of stuff with actors, and for his older games like Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain. So, I mean, that's nothing really new. And about the whole snowball effect, I mean, I think I'm getting to the point where it's hard to believe a bunch of stories that are coming out. Like a few days ago, Stan Lee allegations came out for him, and it's just, I mean, with him, like when I read it, it's just that was really hard to believe. So I think, I mean, whenever something comes out, it's like, for me, I just kind of throw it away into its own thing and kind of try not to pay attention to it.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Talati? What do you think?
I've got no words for that guy. I really have. I mean, we've seen the likes of Kevin Spacey, you know, what he's done. So, I mean, what else is there to bring us another day in the office, really? Isn't there? I mean, I agree with what Inspector says, to to be honest with you, and what Marvel DC fan has said. So I agree with what both of those guys have said, and I think there should be a point where there should, you know, there should be a stop to this type of thing.
Okay, when you say like a stop to this type of thing, are you saying more of like, do you believe of the accusations, or you just don't like? You think the accusations are, I
No, no,
guess.
no, no. People doing these things, there should be a stop.
Okay.
People should stop these things in the first place. Shouldn't happen. The accusation can go on, but they should be taken up in court, not in the public eye, behind closed doors, in court, and not in the public eye. So then people can't make any, comments on it. Yeah, at least then it's not a big deal. It's under wraps.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, do you think that there's truth to it or not really, or you just don't know?
I have no idea because I don't know what to believe anymore.
Okay, yeah, no, I feel you. Like, for me, it's like this. It's like, if these accusations were true, such as the 600 photoshopped images, right? We would have seen these 600 photoshopped images if they're in group emails with other workers and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just like one of those things. It's like, I'm going to chalk it up to the same situation with Naughty Dog. It's until there's something being proven. It's otherwise, I'm not going to sit and say, oh, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next topic, and this is a very interesting topic. We're going to the movie side now. Is Flash is getting, this is being leaked, or this is rumors. Take it with a grain of salt. That
it came out by Variety, so
yeah.
I thought it was coming out from another website.
No, it was Variety. Variety originally reported it, so I would say take it with a grain of salt. But usually, when Variety reports it, it's usually true.
90% of the time.
Yeah.
So Homecoming writers are supposed to, I believe, direct, right?
Yeah, direct.
Okay. Direct the Flash movie, which the Flash movie is set to be Flashpoint, which to me, I would say, if this is true, I'm kind of disappointed, because granted, could they make a serious storyline? Sure, they could, right? Mm-hmm. But Flashpoint is probably one of the most serious Flash arcs compared to all his other storylines, because there's a lot of freaking death, destruction. The themes are really heavy and dark, and all in all, like, I don't see that happening, because what I'm seeing this, right, is a lot of people compare Flash to more of like Spider-Man or like type of humor, where then they're just like, oh, maybe WB was hearing that and said, oh, let's get the Homecoming writers to direct it so he can be more of a Spider-Man-esque character with comedy and all that. Because, initially, or what I've said with the Justice League, right, is like, I didn't like how Flash was like that, or just the way he was represented. And it seems like they're going to go towards more of that route, which I don't know. I'm not a big fan of. I know some people are, and they'll enjoy that. But for me, I didn't like that aspect. I wish it was more in tune with really the comic version of Flash. And hearing about the the writers for Homecoming doing this is making me less and less, hopeful for this Flashpoint movie. And, having like Wonder Woman in it, it's just going to be weird. And I don't know if they're going to write Wonder Woman good. So it's just, because I would assume the directors are also going to write. or at least have a big, creative be in the creative room for that. And yeah, I don't know. It makes me a little sad and depressed about this news. I was hoping for more, and hopefully WB hearing this might change their mind. But I don't know if they're going to listen. They didn't listen with the Justice League, so I don't know. Hopefully this new
guys actually
for James Wan. I know like he's supposed to be the head of the DC, I guess like the Kevin Feige, but
not James Wan, Walter Hamada.
No, I was talking about James Wan's friend. So Walter, I don't know. Was it Walter's decision? I don't know. I have no idea. We don't know. We just know that this is being leaked / rumored. So me is a no-go for me. Hopefully WB hears it. What do you think, Marvel DC fan?
I mean, it's now that I'm like all this stuff is coming out for it, I'm slowly like starting to change my mind about it, because before we were talking about it, I think it was the last couple, like maybe a couple podcasts ago, where I thought that the Flashpoint movie would be kind of a good idea going on, kind of resetting some things. But now, coming off of Justice League and how he was portrayed in that movie, which honestly I didn't like it either. Like, I didn't like the kind of weirdo kind of Flash they had going on for that, and with the Homecoming writers, I mean, I don't know what to think of it anymore. I'm a little worried about it, and and yeah, like, it's weird. It's especially weird for they're doing Flashpoint, which is this this really dark story, and they have, and the Flash of the DCU is kind of like a light, fun character, so it'll be really hard to kind of mesh those two things together. So yeah, every second now is just, I'm starting to get a little worried about it.
Oh. What about you, Inspector? What are your thoughts?
I would say I'm indifferent. Like, I'm not worried. I'm not excited. I'm just like in the middle. Like, these are the writers of Homecoming, which I liked. I thought Homecoming was good. Like, the more I think about Homecoming, the more I'm like, it was good, but it wasn't great. And they also did the Vacation reboot, which I didn't see because I heard it was really bad. They directed the Vacation reboot.
It is bad.
Remake.
I didn't know they directed. I thought they just wrote it. Oh shit.
No, they directed it. They were the directors. So, oh no, it just feels like the problem with Flash is that, like, I could see them leaving again in a few months, and then everyone's gonna make a whole fuss about it. It's like, oh, Flash loses more directors. It's like, to be honest, at this point, I think they should just put Flash on hold indefinitely, because I don't know what to do with him. So I think what they should do is put Flash on hold, because you keep giving people false hope on this Flash movie actually happening. So fire these directors, let it sit for 6 months, maybe a year. For that, like, if you give it a year, you have Aquaman to come out, and you also have Shazam to come out. So you know where to go from there. And from there, you can judge on whether people want a Flash movie, if people want a Flashpoint movie, not just a Flash movie, but a Flashpoint movie. So I feel that they should just wait and see what time holds for the future of the DC movies before they do a Flash movie. Because unlike most people, like, I didn't mind I didn't mind Ezra's performance. I just think it was the fault of the script. I think Ezra did the best that he could do with what was written for him. And I think if he had a better script, it would have been like the problem with Ezra's Flash is that he was written to be comedy relief. And as we said, Flash isn't a comedy relief character. So that's why he felt out of character, because he wasn't written in character.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel if he has his own movie, maybe not with these directors, but with another one, that they can have him be in character and not like this jokey whatever he was in Justice League. So,
and I would like to say, like, there's a difference between like the dark characters, the comedic characters, and the light characters. I consider Flash a light character.
yeah, he's a light character. He's not like a. He's not like.
He's not comedic.
He's not like. He's not like Plastic Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, Taladia?
I think it's interesting choice, but I think it's a bit too soon for them to. Well, obviously it's a rumor at the moment, but I think it's a bit too soon for them to announce a director at the moment, because we're still about a good 2-3, maybe 3 or 4 years out before this movie should actually be out. To be perfectly honest with you, and plus we don't even know if Ben Affleck is going to be in the movie, because that as well has been rumored as well that he might be in it, he might not be in it, because Jake Gyllenhaal might be in the movie. So there's all different rumors going on about that with the Batman situation, in terms of, as the character would be in Flashpoint. So for that as well, I think they should put it on hold. Wait a couple of wait maybe a year or two. Wait after Wonder Woman 2 is released, or the year of Wonder Woman 2 is released. Just announce it then, or just hold it off until till 2 years. So roundabout after the Green Lantern Corps movie is released, which we still haven't got any news on yet.
Yeah.
Which I think would make perfect sense. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's the way I feel in terms of how the DC slate is going on. I mean, there's been loads of things been going on for that. I mean, even the Shazam story, there's rumors of that coming out in 2019, 2020. There's the Rock movie. What's it called? Not Black Lightning.
Black Adam.
Black Adam. Yeah, the Black Adam movie. There's been talks about that coming out in a couple of years' time. So there's loads of things happening with DC, but there still hasn't been any solid confirmation for, besides the Wonder Woman movie, that's actually gonna help them. But basically with the Flashpoint, they should wait off. I think wait it off until to see how the Wonder Woman 2 does, Aquaman does, and then go, all right, we'll do the we'll do the Flashpoint movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I really think.
So yeah. So I guess we're gonna now quickly. I guess this is gonna be less like trustable than the report we got from Variety about the directors, but supposedly, Suicide Squad 2 is supposed to be rumored to be Ben Affleck's final appearance as Batman, and they're basically saying, he's supposed to be, this is supposed to be Affleck has worked with, Suicide Squad 2 director Gavin O'Connor. So Gavin O'Connor is supposed to be doing Suicide Squad 2, and I mean, I know I'm gonna chalk this up as it's really less likely than the Flash directors, just because it doesn't make sense for Ben Affleck's last outing to be Suicide Squad 2. It's just I don't know what to believe. It's just see Ben Affleck going back and forth. Like we know, we've said it before, that it doesn't seem Ben Affleck's just into it. He's like tired. He's like, I think he just doesn't want to have that weight on his shoulders of being Batman, and he wants to do other projects. And I don't know what his last film is going to be, or it's just none at all. I mean, that could be a total possibility of Ben Affleck just saying, "No, that's it, I'm done," which could be an avenue that he goes towards. But that being said, Suicide Squad 2, I mean, I guess if they make it like the Arkham Suicide Squad movie, animated movie thing that they did, I guess that could work, but it just doesn't make sense. You would rather have him in a bigger role than that. So like maybe Flashpoint or the solo Batman film, but we're still not even hearing concrete confirmation of Ben Affleck's in the solo Batman film. So it's very interesting hearing just these rumors. I mean, it's still rumor, but I don't know what to believe. It's getting to this point where I don't know about Ben Affleck. He's just, I mean, I will not fault him if he says I'm done, but that's just me. What do you think, Inspector?
Wait, well, sorry, I blanked. What was the?
That Suicide Squad 2 will be his last appearance, and Gavin O'Connor's directing it. Who did The Accountant?
Yeah, I don't think that's the proper way to send off Batman in a Suicide Squad movie. It would just be like really weird and kind of jarring, because like if you put Batman in a Suicide Squad movie, unless he's like the thing that the squad is like afraid of, like he's going after the squad, it wouldn't make any sense, because like the first Suicide Squad, he was only in it for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes tops. So I don't think would make any sense. I mean, maybe it would make sense just because like Affleck worked with O'Connor before, and O'Connor can probably write him off well. But just this whole like Affleck Batman story, there's just so many different reports that I don't know what to trust. Like some people say, oh, he's out already, and they're already getting Gyllenhaal, and like people like, I don't know when Gyllenhaal was confirmed, because he wasn't, because that was a rumor. And a rumor by John Campea of all people. So I don't know why people are still running with that story. But I don't know. Again, with all these DC rumors, I'll believe it when I see it. It's just hearsay, so it's hard to believe.
But do you believe like Ben Affleck's kind of done with this?
I believe he's done, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe this. Like, just his enthusiasm is so like down. So, I expect he's done.
And we know that Ben Affleck worked with WB for a while with movies like.
Oh, he's not done with WB. I think he's just done with DC, because he's one of WB's like hot writers and directors. So he's not going anywhere out of WB. Okay. He's just getting out of DC.
Because I don't know if he would, after like the mistreatment with Zack Snyder. I don't know if he would be like, I'm not going to deal with this right now with WB and go somewhere else. Like seeing what's happened with George Miller and Zack Snyder, I don't know if he would jump ship and go to like another, publisher or something like that.
Oh, no, he's been with WB since The Town, or Gone Baby Gone. So, yeah.
What do you think, Taladia?
I think it's 50. Well, what can I really say? I mean, I think he could be done with the Batman project, but it's a wrong send-off. I think he should be the send-off. Should be perfect in the Flashpoint movie, to be perfectly honest. I mean, we don't know if he is going to be in it, but I mean, that would reboot the franchise if you think about it, like Rebirth or New 52.
But here's the thing with the Flashpoint movie. The problem is that Ben Affleck would only be in the beginning. He wouldn't be at the end. Because the young Batman would be at the end. Because that would be the reboot.
Yeah. But at least then you see he would have had Like, I mean, he's already done. How many movies has he done now? Yes.
Justice League, Suicide Squad.
I think that's.
Yeah, well, technically 3 on his contracts, but 2 full movies, I would say. 2 full movies. Like, he's done technically 3 because of Suicide Squad, but I don't want to count Suicide Squad. So he's done 2.
But, like, you know, with that interview, he said technically 3.
Yeah, technically 3 because it was on his contract.
Yeah. So
we
don't know if his contract is really up. It seems like it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But do you believe, Talati, if it's going to be the Flashpoint, Suicide Squad, or Batman?
That's a hard one because I don't really know. I mean, if I had my first guess, that would be the Batman movie, to be honest with you. I mean, my second guess would be the Flashpoint, but first guess is the Batman. The Suicide Squad thing, I mean, obviously they're still writing the script, right? But how would it work? How would this integrate with, with the other DC movies? And how would this fit in with the Batman? It's a bit, it's really hard to say, but I hope he does. Like, I hope they do give him a good send off. But my guess is it should be the Batman. It should not be the Suicide Squad where he gets a minor role.
Yeah.
I really think that. But you know what WB are like? They will try and milk out as much Batman as they can. And in the end, just for like a big project like, Suicide Squad, they'll try and use Batman. The name Batman will just sell. But it's just that he'll get a minor role, and people will eat it up, and I think it'll be an injustice for Ben Affleck, the amount of stuff he's done for WB and for DC, like working on BVS, worked on Justice League, and even possibly could have possibly worked. I mean, he was working on the Batman movie as well until the kid stepped down. So it's like, so there's a lot of things. But my only guess is, yeah, it's going to be the Batman movie. I think it should be the real send-off, not Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel DC fan, I'll hand it over to you, and you can give your thoughts and opinions on this Suicide Squad thing with the Batman being in it, rumored to be in it.
Well, it's just, I mean, like, if, say, he was, for his final movie in the Suicide Squad sequel, I just feel like it would be just kind of really, like, unfitting and not really kind of just do him justice as like his final performance. But I mean, if we're talking the other movies and rumors about the other projects he could be in, I mean, I don't know how. I mean, for Flashpoint, I think he'd be like in the first like 10 minutes or something like that, the first like action set piece, and then he's done. And then for like the Batman, like you would be, I don't know how they'd write it. So, I mean, switch it to another actor. So, I mean, I don't know, honestly. At this point, like I got nothing.
I feel you. All right, so we got a official plot synopsis for the Han Solo movie coming out like 2 or 3 weeks after, Avengers, right? All right, here's a synopsis. Board the Millennium Falcon and journey to a galaxy far, far away in Solo, a Star Wars story, an all-new adventure with the most beloved scoundrel in the galaxy through a series of daring escapees. Deep with a dark and dangerous criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his mighty future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters the notorious gambler Lando Calrissian in a journey that will set course of one of the Star Wars saga's most unlikely heroes. And I thought this was probably the most generic synopsis I've ever heard. And yeah, listen, I'm not gonna try and be a hater on the Han Solo movie, you know, but for me, it's just like this. Just the synopsis didn't invoke anything in me. This was like very generic. It's like a generic movie. I can't describe it. I can't try and show a positive like thing for the synopsis. It's like we know that he was going to be Chewbacca. We know like Lando is going to be in the movie. It's just like, yet again, why this movie? I don't know. In the boardroom is like, you know, we should do a Han Solo movie. It's like, yo, what about Obi-Wan? Shut the fuck up. We don't want an Obi-Wan movie. We're doing Han Solo. Just like, what? It just makes more sense for Obi-Wan than a Han Solo movie. And it's just like, it's like Han Solo for me just can't carry his own movie. It just doesn't make sense to me. But those are my thoughts. I got nothing else to say other than they need to kind of hurry up and show a trailer soon. They got how many months? 4 months until the movie comes out? Yeah. So there's barely any marketing for this movie. I don't even think Disney's going to spend much for it because they got Avengers coming up. And they're going to spend a bunch of marketing for Avengers because Avenger comes out in 4 months or almost like 3 months, technically, because we're almost like to the ending of January. So what do you think, Marvel DC fan, about this Han Solo synopsis?
It's just, yeah, like you said, it's just very generic, like bare bones kind of thing. And at this point, like, it's hard for me to care about the movie because, like, we've literally had nothing to go on. Like, no trailer, no promotional art, no, like, nothing. So...
But don't you forget we had that fake poster that came out.
Yeah, like...
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just... I doubt, like, this movie's gonna be really successful because, yeah, like, you got... In that month, you got Avengers, and then... you know, Deadpool also.
Yep, which we'll talk about after this.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really going to be hard to compete against them. And, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just, I'm losing faith in Han Solo. Because, like, yeah, like you said, like, it's hard for him to carry a movie all by himself. So.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Inspector? What do you think?
As you said, like, I was actually going to interject you right in the middle of the synopsis, just because I'm like, man, that is probably the most generic smuggler synopsis I've ever heard.
Oh yeah,
like it just sounds like they took a synopsis from another movie and just added into Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Lando.
Yep.
Like
exactly.
It just doesn't entice me. I don't care. Like even this cast, like I mean the cast has like Woody Harrelson and
Paul Bettany, right?
Paul Bettany and Childish Gambino for some reason.
Yep.
I don't know. Like he wasn't really that impressive in Homecoming because he played Shocker and he wasn't really that.
It was Prowler.
He played Prowler, yeah. Like, and like Alden Ehrenreich is the guy playing Han Solo, right? Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen him in anything, and he just looks like. I guess they're trying to make him look like Harrison Ford, but he doesn't look like Harrison Ford at all.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
And like, I'm just not interested, as you said. Like, we haven't got any promotional material, and the movie comes out in May, and May just seems like too crowded because of like, as we're gonna get to later, Deadpool moved up to May, so May is just like way too crowded with movies.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
What about you, Claudia? You're a big Star Wars fan. What do you think about this synopsis?
I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Let's be honest. To be honest with you, there should be more marketing to this movie.
Yep.
There shouldn't be no marketing at all. For them not to say anything. I mean, how many months has it been since D23?
It's April, right? So
Yeah,
a while. It's almost like a year.
So it's been
D23 was last year.
So it's like 9 months.
Yeah,
months. No, like 12 months basically.
Yeah, so it's been nearly a full year, but they could have easily marketed it in December. After when Star Wars month, they could have easily teased it then. When they had the Star Wars celebration and all of that, they never did. That was a perfect opportunity for them to show off not only the Last Jedi, but tease us with the Han Solo stuff.
Or they could have done 2 trailers with Avengers and a Han Solo movie, which they could have done that.
They could have done that, but they didn't. But it's like, what I'm saying is, though, as a person that plays the Star Wars games and who's watched the trilogy, from episode 1 to episode 8, I think there should be more marketing to it. I mean, it's turning into the way they're turning it into is like a gaming industry. That's the way I feel. The way that they're handling this movie, it's like they're turning into a developer, not saying anything for 12 months, and within the next let's just say a month or two before the movie is released, then they say something, and it's like, well, you guys could have said something 2 or 3 months beforehand, and that would have hyped it up even more. But to be fairly honest, as a Star Wars fan, I think this is a misdirection. The synopsis, though, I'm not too sure about. The guy who's playing Han Solo, I don't like him. I really don't. Not because of his acting skill, because he doesn't look like Harrison Ford at all. And they need to find somebody who actually looks indirectly to him. If you know what I mean. They could have gone an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. I mean, everyone would have loved that.
Oh, yeah.
Or even a Darth Vader storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Or even, hell, I'll even say this, a Darth Maul solo story. A Darth Maul solo storyline. That would be awesome. But I know what Disney is probably thinking. We're not gonna go down that route, and it's gonna be the same thing with, it's gonna be the same thing with Deadpool. They're not gonna go down that route, bringing the character to rated R and stuff like that.
Well, what Disney said, like, Bob Iger said that's gonna, if the deal goes through, like through the government, of course, they said it's gonna still be rated R.
Yeah, but the thing is it gonna be a big thing though, because it's going to be matched in with the MCU as well as
I don't know. I think Kevin Feige will keep it separate. I don't think Kevin Feige is interested in Deadpool.
Okay.
I think the only X-Men he's interested in are just the core X-Men, like Wolverine and Storm and Jean Grey.
And then like Bob Iger was also saying that they're going to try and do more like mature
content,
more mature for Marvel heroes or something like that for movies, and it's going to be like a separate brand or something weird that they were saying about that.
Yeah, but the only thing I'll say though is for Disney and Star Wars, they've messed everything up since they bought the rights from what's his name, George Lucas. They messed everything up.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. I think they I think I think this is all like Lucasfilm in general.
No, I mean like Lucasfilms, they would have, at least it would still be in continuity with some of the things, and some of the things don't make sense. Like, how did Han have a baby with Leia? Wouldn't he have the abilities, if you know what I mean with episode 8, but stuff like that. We can talk about that another day, but But the Han Solo movie doesn't make sense to me. Like they should have wait until the what's it called, Obi-Wan Kenobi solo movie came out, or the Darth Maul or Darth Vader movie had actually been released, and then it would have been perfect for them to go, okay, we'll do this and it'll sell money. But no. But Marvel DC fan, what are your thoughts on the Star Wars Han Solo synopsis, and also what do you think should be done about this?
He already went.
Yeah,
He went.
Oh, you already went. Oh,
Yeah, he did. He did. I was gonna say. I was
Hey,
like,
Yeah.
I'm a bit. Yeah, don't forget, guys. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, so
yeah, we'll cut you some slack. So I guess now we're gonna talk quickly for the Fox lineup, because this year was supposed to be a bunch of Fox X-Men movies, right?
Mhm.
2 of those are coming out this year. New Mutants are coming out next year, around April, I believe. Which I'm hearing what the rumors are going down. Rumors, I can't say. It seems like there'll be extensive reshoots. Some people were saying there wasn't enough scares to it. It wasn't that much horror to it, so they're going back to add a bunch of more horror elements to it. Now, could the extensive reshoots really make the movie a lot worse? Probably. That's a likely scenario. Or could it actually help it? That's also a likely scenario. I can't say whether or not it's going to be, great. I like the trailer they showed for it. It's from now them pushing it back. I think a lot of people love that aspect of that trailer, and people were expecting that to be like the movie, right? And I guess people complained about that when seeing it. This is going, by the rumors. And then people were like, all right, the director was like, okay, we need extensive reshoots to make this more horror. And I'm glad if that did happen, and if that was the case, that they listened to feedback and they're making it more horror, because that's what I want from the movie, and that's what I like from the trailer. Okay, Gambit's canceled. Not canceled, sorry. They lost the director
Again.
now. That movie's in limbo. Yeah,
Okay.
that movie, it's like The Flash. It's like this movie's in limbo.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, first it was Doug Liman, and then it was someone else, and then it was Gore Verbinski, and then now Gore Verbinski is out.
Yep. So who knows now? Then it was I think this is also a rumor that Kitty Pryde is getting her own movie. I don't know who the director for this was. Let me look this up real quick. The Kitty Pryde movie. News. Oh, it's Tim Miller.
Okay.
Who is the director for Deadpool 1, which is interesting. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Deadpool is having Tim Miller direct it. That's very odd. And this is, of course, Collider. I want to say this Collider broke the news about the Kitty Pryde thing. We don't know. To me, it's like Collider's always iffy with these news. So Tim Miller, making a Kitty Pryde movie is a different direction coming from Deadpool. I don't know. I'm not interested in a Kitty Pryde movie. Like, to me, it's like the Han Solo effect. Like, to me, it's just, I don't think, Kitty Pryde can carry her own movie. Not like Wolverine or Cyclops or Jean Grey. It's like, she's like one of the lower cast characters for the movies, for the X-Men movies, right? Deadpool was moved up to May, which is good. It means they're super confident about the movie, and it's interesting them putting it in May, but I guess they wanted to come off the heels of Avengers so they can get, that box office money. But I would rather see. Okay, this is where I'm a fan, and I love the placement because I get to watch these 2 movies I'm really gonna enjoy. But this is, as me as a person, I feel like it kind of cannibalizes itself. Just like we had that effect with Spider-Man: Homecoming, Dunkirk, and War for the Planet of the Apes, where it came out consecutively.
Or more recently, Thor: Ragnarok and Justice League.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna love Deadpool. I know that. But who knows? Hopefully they do well in the box office. But other than that, that's really all about the Fox X-Men. Dark. Is it Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
It's supposed to still be coming out in November. And that's it for that one. But guys, what do you think? What do you think about the News Inspector? The Kitty Pryde, Gambit, New Mutants being way pushed back, and Deadpool being, pushed up.
It really sucks for New Mutants because I know a lot of people were interested in that movie, and now that it moved back to February, I think it's pretty much DOA. February of 2019. I think it's pretty much DOA. I think by then people will not care. Deadpool being moved up, I think is interesting. I don't know if that's confidence or just that because I want to get out in front of Han Solo. Because as you said, like it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if May has 5 weeks in it, but I think that's 2 weeks after Infinity War. And as you said, I think it cannibalizes each other. I don't think opening 2 weeks after Infinity War is a smart move. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they move back the date and maybe make it in mid-June, because I think going straight up against Infinity War is a terrible idea. Like opening that close to Infinity War, just because of how huge Infinity War is going to be. It's. I don't think it's going to make like Star Wars money, but it's going to be up there. Well, not like Force Awakens money. It'll probably be around like what Last Jedi made. Or what Last Jedi is making. Yeah, so and what else? What was the other movie?
The Gambit.
I'm blanking. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. Gambit. The Gambit movie is dead. No. Bury it. Yeah. That's what I think about the Gambit movie. It's just that I don't think people care about Gambit as much. Like, people know Gambit from the X-Men animated series mainly because of his relationship with Rogue. I don't think they cared about him as a singular character because, to be honest, Gambit isn't really that interesting of a character. He's just like he's a character created in the 90s, so he's like super edgy and all that. He's from New Orleans and all that. So I just don't think people are that interested in Gambit, and it keeps juggling directors. So I think it would just be smart for Fox to just scrap it altogether.
Yeah.
It's not getting off the ground.
And what about that Kitty Pryde movie being made by Tim Miller? This is from Collider. It's from Collider. They broke the news.
I know. I think it's interesting, especially what you said with Tim Miller coming from Deadpool to this. And I also don't think Kitty Pryde is a good single hero. She works well with the X-Men, but I don't think she works well alone.
Yeah.
Maybe if they put Iceman in there, or maybe Colossus, but I don't know. But Colossus isn't Deadpool, and they don't want to cast a different Colossus.
But did you hear, though, I think the Colossus and X-Men Dark Phoenix is the same one in X-Men, 2 and 3. So it's weird.
Oh my god.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
No.
I did.
Yeah, he Marvel DC fan.
That just shows how Fox doesn't care about continuity.
No.
They see continuity, and whenever they see continuity, they just smash it with the hammer, and they don't care.
I personally like the I'd rather have that Colossus and Deadpool be like the main Colossus. And just like that's the definitive Colossus in my opinion.
Mm.
But isn't he in DC Citizen Steel?
Wait, what?
What? What are you talking about?
The guy who plays Colossus in the X-Men movie. Didn't he go to DC?
I don't know.
No, I don't think he's playing Citizen Steel.
I don't think that's the same guy.
No.
Yeah.
I always get confused between those two, but.
So, what do you think, Marvel DC fan, about this? Like a bunch of Fox News right there for the X-Men and stuff.
I mean, okay. Deadpool. I mean, it's 50-50 for me because I want to see Deadpool. I'm excited for the movie, but like at the same time, this is like coming off the back heels of Infinity War, which is huge. So I think they should have just kept it at like maybe at its original release date, like in June. New Mutants. I mean, I'm not too interested in the movie that much, so I really got nothing on that to say for it. And I mean, Gambit and Kitty Pryde, like, I think I'm in the same boat where it's like I don't think like those characters are interesting enough on their own to carry a movie. Like if you put them in an X-Men movie with the core X-Men, I think I'd be more fine with that. But for like a solo attempt, I just don't think it'll work, period. So I'd rather just have them scrap them altogether. So
all right, what do you think, Talati, about all this news?
Firstly, Deadpool being pushed forward is a good move for Fox because it's a Marvel property, firstly, and it did well. Was 2 years ago, it did well. No matter what people say, it was a big hit. But for the Gambit movie is dead. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't know why they're trying to revive it and trying to get different directors, but it's finished. There's nothing you could do. It's buried under the water. There's too much water in that to actually say, all right, we can revive this person back alive. Sorry, this movie back alive. But in terms of the New Mutants, I was never got into that, to be honest with you. But what's the other one?
Gambit.
Yeah, you're talking about Gambit.
Okay, Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde.
With Tim Miller directing it.
That's an interesting one, but why would Tim Miller do it? I'll never know. It's an interesting way Tim Miller's gone, but why has he done it? That's the biggest question.
Yeah. All right, so we got another topic, and then we got a last, and then another one, and then we're done. So Collider always likes to break these news, which may always end up never being true. But they're saying, I think it was John Snap or not John Snap. I don't know his first name. I think it's John Snap. Snap was saying, breaking it for Collider, that Tom Holland will be in the Venom movie, and that people have seen him on set, and it might be a cameo. And then other news broke that it's just going to be Peter Parker and Tom Holland's character, and that
him on set does not mean anything.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like we don't know. They said they saw him shooting it on set and stuff like that. We don't really know. This is what Collider said, and John Snap. And he was just like, "Oh, you know, that's what these little birdies told me, and all that stuff." So, who knows? Me, if I were to guess, it's like, let's say if Spider-Man's in the movie, right? It's gonna be only for a couple minutes, and it's just to say, "Hey, Spider-Man's in the movie," you know. So he is maybe connected to the MCU, but mostly it's going to be like that Netflix treatment where they're not going to really be mentioned. That's what I feel. Also, you know, Venom is still going on. It's confirmed Lethal Protector / you know, Planet of the Symbiotes. I'm still interested. Tom Hardy looks like he's very enthusiastic about the role. And that video at Brazil Comic-Con, and he was on set, you know, streaming to them, and it seemed cool, and I really liked it. And a couple of like set images showed up for, you know, Tom Hardy having a book, being a journalist, you know, for like the Daily Bugle, most likely. And I'm excited for the movie. I don't know, because Tom Hardy to me is like the perfect Eddie Brooks, and compared it to the Topher Grayson.
Yeah.
That was just trash. So I don't know. I don't know if it's true. Collider's always has a really spotty record of, you know, breaking news. So I mean, it's like 20. I'll say 30% it's real and 70% it's false. What do you think, Inspector?
Yeah, as I said, seeing him on set does not mean anything. He's probably just hanging out with Tom Hardy. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't want to say, like, maybe they're chums, both from England.
Oh, yeah, true.
Just hanging out. Maybe Tom Holland is like, hey, maybe Tom Holland is looking forward to the movie, saying, "Hey, man, I'm looking forward to this movie." It's like it doesn't mean anything. Like, people visit sets all the time. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean he's in the movie. But I mean, and him being in the movie for like 3 or so minutes, just a cameo, feels like a waste. Like if he signed up for that, like I don't think he signed up for that in his contract, and I think it would be a waste of money for Tom Holland, to be honest. Because he, like, even if he signed a contract to be a cameo in the movie, like, he wouldn't get a lot. So, like, I would say I just think Schnapp wants to rile people up and get them excited. I don't believe it.
All right. What do you think, Marvel DC fan?
Well, assuming that this is real, like, let's just say I'm excited but also conflicted at the same time, because to be honest, I was never really with the whole idea of them doing kind of like redoing Venom's origin so that Peter Parker wasn't involved with it. I just never agreed with that idea whatsoever. But also, like, if he is in there, then it really complicates things with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, and yeah, it would also just be a waste of him being there. So I don't know, but I mean, that doesn't really. I mean, I'm excited for the movie also, so hoping the best for it.
Yeah, dude, I'm just super hyped for Tom Hardy though. That man's gonna be a beast.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tyler, what do you think about this?
Tom Holland, I have to agree with Inspector on this one. It's coming from Collider of all people. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. If Tom Holland was gonna be in the Venom movie, it would have to feature Marvel Studios, if one way or another, and you have to be a part of the MCU. And for them to bring Tom Holland in, it it wouldn't make sense in terms of continuity and all of that. But I really think that I really think though it should just. I really think they should just not bring this up at all. Even though they brought it up, it's kind of messed up messed up everything. To be honest with you, and they need to move on from it and just say, "All right, guys, we lied, we bullshitted our way," you know, and you know, just do their own thing.
Yeah.
But to be realistic, though, yeah, I agree with the Inspector 110% on that.
All right, so the last topic. Jumanjii, Welcome to the Jungle, surpasses $700 million at the global box office. And $408 million internationally and $293.7 million domestically. So, and the film earned $83 million internationally this past weekend and maintained its number one spot in 30 markets. So, you know, it seems like Sony just made quite a bit of money off this film, you know, out of, you know, a lot of the duds this year that they've made and previous years, besides Spider-Man Homecoming. It seems like most likely we're going to get another Jumanji movie, which I will not see, like usual. I don't know why this film's doing well. I don't know. I'm just really dumbfounded on the success of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really wondering how this movie did well. Like I'm super confused. At the same time, just like why? Like it's like to me like a Transformer effect of like a Transformer movie making a bunch of money, even though it doesn't deserve all that money. Like I feel like that $700 million should have went to Blade Runner 2049 instead of Jumanji. And I don't know. I don't know what the audience is seeing in this movie. It's just perplexing to say the least. And personally, it's like I know what if I go into that movie, I know the beats of what that movie's gonna be, and the tone of it. I know everything that's gonna happen basically, and I just feel like the movie's gonna be unentertaining. And I don't know, maybe making movies like this is what racks in the money. But Inspector, what do you think?
Yeah, as you said, I'm so surprised that it's making this much money, like $700 million. I'm like I would have been surprised if it made it over 4 or 5. But 700, like as you said, I'm not gonna see it. It looks like a really bad movie, but like a lot of people are digging it, and like all power to them. I'm not gonna see it. I like The Rock, but I don't like Kevin Hart, so I'm not gonna see it.
What do you think, Marvel DC fan?
You know, I really wasn't expecting it to make this much. I wasn't expecting it to make even half of that. I thought, from the first time that I saw the trailer, it had every quality, and to me, it was pretty much destined to fail. But I'm just dumbfounded on how people actually bought into it and saw this movie. It is pretty much like the Transformer kind of thing, where it just feels like the audience is just a bunch of idiots seeing like this movie that everybody knows is terrible, but you're still kind of giving into to that. So I mean, I'm not gonna watch it. If they ever make another sequel to it, I'm not gonna watch that either. So I think honestly they should have just left it alone with the original movie. They didn't need to do anything with it. So yeah.
What do you think, Saladio?
For that much money that it's been made at the box office, I think it's due to one reason and one reason only: social media. Between The Rock promoting it on YouTube, on Instagram, and also Kevin Hart, because they're both big, they have a big following. So mainly priority is probably money coming from those two fan base. And there's also Karen, what's her name? Karen, I can't pronounce her surname, but her name's Karen.
You're talking about the one that's from Guardians, that
Yeah.
plays Nebula.
Kieran Gillen. Yeah, Kieran Gillen.
Yeah, from Doctor Who, yeah. Basically, as well, her following would be a big thing as well. So I'm thinking that's maybe the reason why it's made so much money. But in terms of it turning into like a Transformer thing, yeah, I can see from where you're coming from. I can see from where your guys' points of view is coming from. But I don't think it's that, to be honest with you. I think it's mainly they're trying to, do their own separate thing. It might have failed to some people. To me, even though I haven't seen the movie yet, so don't judge me on it yet until I've seen it, which I probably will do. Not, I won't say where, but I probably will see it. It's just the fact that the money wise though, for that much, it must be to do with social media. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. I forgot to quickly, I'll read this because it's the same article. It says, Jumanjii Welcome to the Jungle is now Sony's 6th highest grossing film domestically of all time. It is on track to soon pass 2012 Skyfall. And I want to quickly insert, like, really? Skyfall was actually a pretty good movie.
Skyfall.
And
You mean
James Bond.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, it's supposed to pass. Yeah, soon.
I hope it doesn't, because James Bond is life.
And then which sits in, okay, so yeah, domestic of all time is on track soon to pass 2012 Skyfall, which sits in the 5th position behind Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy and Spider-Man Homecoming. And it's also now performed better than Justice League. That's what they said. So, yeah,
They always have to throw the Justice League thing in there.
Yeah.
That was IGN.
That just makes you feel really bad for Justice League at this point.
Yeah, it does.
No, it's just like, I don't know. Hearing that it's about to pass Skyfall,
it's kind of weird in some aspect, because Skyfall was a brilliant movie, and with but with what's it called? But with Jumanjii now is trying to beat that in a week or two. It's gonna be weird, and I think not many people would be pleased with that.
I don't know. I'm just like, why? It's like, why? Like, what? I'm just wondering what people saw in it. Like, I remember watching the trailer. I don't know what the movie was for. I saw it in theaters. People were laughing, and I was just like, what the fuck? I didn't think this was funny at all. I was just like, this was hella corny. The jokes didn't land. I don't know. Maybe these type of jokes do something for people. Maybe it's just based off of like what type of jokes they like. I don't know, because me, it's like the jokes are so damn kiddie.
I think it's to do with just the social media. That's the main reason why it's made so much.
Well, my thing is, if it's the social media, then Vin Diesel's movie for because he's a big social media guy, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Triple X.
Yes, that movie would have made bank, but that thing bombed like really, really badly, and it was I believe it was a January movie, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. It's like,
and maybe because it came out on Christmas, and it's a family movie, and family movies usually do bank on Christmas.
If I had a family, I wouldn't be taking them to see that movie.
Yeah,
I would take them to go see.
The problem is that your kids will probably drag you to it.
Oh heck no, dude! When I have kids, dude, it's gonna be, you'll be watching this movie. No, fam. That's just me though. I'll be the strict one here when it comes to movies, of course.
You can see that with your mom.
Huh?
I said you could. You say that you'll say that you'll see it with your mom and not me.
Yeah, I could. I just listen. If you want me to come to the theater, it's gonna have to be a different movie, son. That you take it with your mom. I'm not seeing that trash. Like, yeah, Incredibles, like something like that. I will see, but no, not Jumanji. No,
Don't
Transformers.
that shit.
No. Any guys? You have any other, something to share? In terms of like articles or news or anything like that.
Yeah. There's one thing I would like to talk about. We've already talked about it ourselves, amongst ourselves, but is the next Rocksteady's tweet on Monday, which they posted mocap. Now a lot of people have been, tweeting about it consistently. Oh, Rocksteady's gonna post this. They're posting. It could be a trailer. Now my thoughts on this is that because they posted this on Monday, which is usual for them to do is tweet like that. I think we could possibly see a trailer, Easter time. And I know that some of the guys are probably, the guys here, they're probably thinking, what? But it's just the fact that DC at the moment, DC games, they've only got 2 games that are going to last for the next 2 months. So Enchantress is just finishing up, and they've got TMNT that comes out next month. This month they've got Batman Telltale episode 4 that comes out, and then next month is episode 5, I believe. And then after that they've got nothing. So they haven't got any console games to really focus on. So for DC to push out another game to promote, Rocksteady game, I can see that being the case. And that being that it's a DC property type of thing. It could be anything. I mean, people were speculating it'd be a Justice League. Some people are speculating Superman. Some people are speculating it's a Suicide Squad. I'm like, what? But me as a whole, I think there'll be a trailer, but I just don't know what it is. I mean, I did talk about this a few episodes back, but for them to tweet something like this is just a bit unusual, especially on a Monday. But I don't know about you guys. I mean, in the chat, that is. But please let us know your thoughts in the comments. It'd be very much appreciated.
Yep. All right. So this is going to be it, guys. If you guys like the episode, give this episode a thumbs up. Share this with video with your friends. And if you want to see more content from us, hit that subscribe button. Also hit that bell notification so you guys can get updated as to right when the live stream occurs, and my other content as well. Also, a couple videos will come out soon. I promise. Probably like tomorrow, because the school being college being canceled due to weather. Yeah. I will probably be doing a live stream on Twitch, which is Redwood 420, and a video on YouTube. Where can they find you at, Inspector?
They can follow me on Twitter at the Inspector.
Marvel DC fan, where can they find you at?
Well, of course, my YouTube channel, Marvel DC Fan X99. On Twitter, you can follow me at Marvel DC Fan X99. And then I have my Facebook, which is just Marvel DC Fan on Facebook. So make sure you check that out. And
I want to say congrats on the 100 subscribers.
Yes. Now
congratulations.
You have to do it.
Well, he did.
Live.
Live? What? I mean,
right
he has a
now?
video.
No, not. You don't have to do it right now. You don't have to.
I'm joking. I get it.
Go watch
his video. Watch his video.
Watch his video. Yeah, I get it.
And then
subscribe. Go watch the video and
go subscribe as well.
Yeah.
And Salati,
thank you. Thank you to everybody that have sent messages and comments and just thanking, saying all these nice things. I do want to say that I really, really appreciate it, and I hope that you guys continue to support me and watch my content. So
nice. What happens with the 200 subs?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I'm just thinking about it.
Giveaway.
Maybe.
Salati, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, which is at mtaladia. You can also find me on YouTube, which is Taladia Plays. I haven't done a video for about 2 months, but I'll be thinking about doing more videos in the future. Just I've been having problems with my PC. You can also find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Taladia Plays, where I do a variety of different games, such as Star Wars Battlefront 2, Fortnite, Injustice 2, and also Batman Arkham Knight, as I do Batfleck nights. So it'll be a retro night and it features Batfleck in the costume, and we do the story mode. So we do 6 days a week. We do streams, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we do one Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So make sure you tune in, and it's between 6 till 11 UK time. You guys can find me Monday to Tuesday and Wednesday as well, and then Friday is the same. Friday is 5 till 10, and then Saturday and Sunday is variety of times. So make sure you come by and say hello. I don't bite, so.
All right, guys. This is the Overleveled podcast. Signing off.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Take care.